you can take your nose and Bentley. Here we go. Such a cutie. Gosh. Okay.
Yeah, he was a stray. He was a stray, and my niece and them found him. Nobody claimed him, so they became his dog.
Wow, you guys have very cute stray dogs walking around.
Yeah, yeah.
So I noticed
Sure
on let me put the volume down, and I like your background music. I mean your background station on yours. And I was listening to it while I was watching. You see right there, right there. Right there.
Yes.
Okay, this area right here, that's why I tell people, let's send videos so we can go over it. And what I see is different from what you see. And once you see it again and you get this video to reverse back to, we thank God for the online service that He given us.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
Right here in this area. So let's work on that area right here since we're on this subject. And bingo, we're going to go and work more on what's happening is where all the vessels and everything else, like you said, we're pushing it all out because it's been on different kind of medication and its problem is about allergies, seasonal allergy. So when you hear the word seasonal allergy, it tells you why we're getting a whole bunch of gunk coming out to the eye section as well as the temple. Remember, this is what? Another chakra point that we're working on. It will show you on this module, the chakra module, where to hit and what I'm talking about. And so that's why I just mentioned that it goes hand in hand, and let's do the shortcut. So we're right in this area. Anytime when you look at a dog and the nose area and the eye area, that's where a lot of the senses, not like us, dog has different senses, is getting clogged up. And by doing that, we're going to, in that section in the chakra module, we're going to talk about these areas. This is a perfect example that I'm probably going to use this piece in the classroom. Okay, so when we look at this area right over here, this is a better point. Oh no, this is, let me just play it. Look. Right there. Right there, stop. Okay, so you're doing great. Very good. This area right here, do you see the pointer? Because right here.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so this two areas saying to us, why is it discolored? It's because of that part of his chakra is clogged up.
Oh, okay.
And so when we look at that we call it as their third eye. And so when we look at the chart over here, we're hitting these 3 points as for the dog. 1, 2, and 3, which is this area.
So it's a triangle.
Triangle, and it goes down.
Yeah.
Right? And then it creates another triangle around this area. Okay?
Okay.
When you look at this dog, you see that sensory has been clogged up. And that's why it's not only meridian lines and acupressure. We go to the next module, which talks about chakra and the energy level. We kind of dabbed into the energy level with Bailey because of the low dog, any low dog, corgis, dogs. That now we're going into the next segment. You see how the classroom kind of works hand in hand? And that means that you're advancing to the next level, Kathy.
Help.
You're doing great. And so this point, now we're going to look more and look at the notes that I've went through in that module about chakra. And you can look at it multiple times because you will get dogs. And these are the common areas to look at, right? We get dogs with a lot of gut and eye problems. We have this coloring right here on this area, right? And so they're like, they think we're magicians and we can turn it white. So we cut them, but then guess what? It's still there.
Exactly. Yep, that's exactly what we do.
Right?
Yep.
But now you have the secret sauce magician where not only you can just trim over here, you're actually going into the deep problems. And so by putting too much chemicals, like I can say for myself, when I got my eye infection, I used the micro bubble. I looked at it and I'm like, wait a minute, this is the same thing they use for dogs. But anyways, and that's where we need to hit this point in this area. And by doing that, we kind of start working. And I love how you start to work in that area. And where the point is right now that you're hitting is because during the hotter time of the season, dog tends to get allergy. This is part of an allergy problem that we're looking at right here. And so we got to go back to the tuck and roll. And this is giving you a signal to work, to work, to work. Why? Because guess where? The black line and the solid line in our chart is really
Ends on your
seasonal. It's really about seasonal. So when we look at this point over here, CV24, LI20, GV26.
Yes.
Okay? So these are the points that we focus on because the CV24, this train station is around this area. And why do they keep on gnawing their front paw? Because of these allergies that's stuck in between. So we clear out this section and then we notice that some dogs are doing great, but they're still gnawing their paws. Because
and he is.
Got it. That's why I said I'm giving you the secret sauce of being the magician. And he is. And so the next thing we know is that it's working. The thing about detox is not all the time that we see guck. It's really a process of things coming out of their body. Just like we can't lose, even though if there is a magic pill that makes us lose 5 pounds overnight, and that's how a lot of people think what micro bubble does. You can't lose 5 pounds over one night, obviously, but you will get down to maybe 1 pound of guck per se out of their body on what you're doing with the micro bubble. You know, 1 pound is what, 16 ounces of guck that we're moving, transporting out. And that's a huge amount. And so especially
for a small dog, right?
Especially
for a small dog.
dogs.
Yeah.
Especially for small dogs. And so that's when we have to use our judgment on, for example, why did the Pomeranian, I'm sorry,
Reese.
Why did Reese got so tired? And I looked at everything and I think you saw my notes. It's because it's exhausted. The inside is going, Hail Mary, hey day. And when that happens, the body and the mind is like, this is just too much. I need a rest. I need peace. Don't bother me. I don't even want to look at food. We get to those days sometimes, right? When we get so overwhelmed, we skip a meal. We skip things because we can't bodily function. Why? It's because the cognate mind is fighting against each other. You know, the
Mm.
cognate mind is part of all of this system because the spine just got exploded with a whole bunch of energy. And energy
Mm.
has two levels of understanding. It could be high energy and it could be low energy. Because if
Mm.
a body has to figure out what it wants to do, it just says, leave me alone. Just, I have a headache. No, I can't think straight right now. I don't even want to look at my food. I don't even want to look at you. So stop petting me. Stop looking at me like something is wrong with me. So all of these things are going through the dogs, even though we think we're there for them, but they're there to get just getting more, you know. And so when you see these signs, because we're such overbearing, loving dog parents, that we kind of got to step back and let nature and the process of what you just did is moving. It's moving. Just because you may not be able to get out the things out of the anal gland, there are times where it comes through the skin. And I think I'm not sure which module I put it in. I know it's in module 5 somewhere, but it's where you squeeze it out during the session of shampooing. And
That's module 2. Module 2, you uploaded that video with
oh,
that
okay.
black yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
module
good
2,
video.
exactly. Why the shampoo and why the conditioner? Everybody asks
Yes.
why the conditioner. The
Yep.
conditioner works like magic. So when that happens, some of us mixing the conditioner with water to dilute it, which is fine, which is great. But hint number 1 is if it didn't come out that way, let's see if we can just push it out through the skin, which is the largest organ of the body, because why we moved it up. Just because the micro bubble is doing what it is, sometimes it gets stuck in the surface. And that's right, because we're pushing it
Okay.
out and pushing it out, right? You can't just think, okay, I can, some people may, I don't know, but they push out a baby one time, but you will go through that section of contraction, right? When you contract, it's this,
Yeah.
it's going on. There's a lot of things that because we're so focused on what we're doing when we're doing the micro bubble, but the dog that's inside the body, the inner organs, is like, what is happening? Whoa, there's a lot of things going on. So we have that thing going on. And sometimes the micro bubble may be carrying, like that's why when we see the bees and the ants keep on going back and forth, it's because they needed to push it to gain something, like create a honey out. And so by doing this conditioner, I put it on that video where you make it thick and deep into it. And when you deep into it, you see me squeezing that gray, sometimes it's black, sometimes it's a creamy color, just like what's coming out of their anal is coming out of their skin. And so what I'm saying is you're doing a really good job on an eye. So we use that, we use that as part of what we're doing, just like what you're doing right now with the eye. Sometimes we go back at the eye, we wet it down like what you're doing right now. You're doing an excellent job. But remember, when we have that time of wait time during the bath, like shampoo and conditioner, because the conditioner is now where it's at peak. The body has gone through an evolution of 20 minutes, 30 minutes, right? When we eat,
At least.
right? So when we eat something, we finally feel like, oh God, okay, our stomach is like really full. Some of us go to the bathroom like I do. Within 20, 30 minutes, I'm there because I got my system to work that way. So now the dog system, it may not be coming out. Like you've seen many of my videos, some when I'm doing a micro bubble, doesn't come out. What is the finale of all that guck and things? It's during the conditioner time. That's when you see everything has processed within that 30 to 40 minutes, just like how we process our food or drink, whatever, in our body. Medication, doctors, vets, they tell you, before you eat, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 45 minutes to drink the medication for it to work effectively, right?
No, they never told me that, but I will, I'll keep it. Take it 20, 30 minutes.
For medicine or vitamins, because I take a whole bunch of, what I do is my first round, when I wake up in the morning, I drag myself to take all of my vitamins and medication and whatever, and then go back to sleep. And then when I wake up, my system is charged with all that vitamin. So I always say the first P is when we need to refill your body with vitamins and nutrition, not with food, but water and vitamin and whatever medication you have. That will signal your body to intake, because during that time of rest, savasana, as we say, it's a dead body pose. Everything is finally relaxed. The whole day when we just let it flow. The energy is at the peak moment. At that peak moment is when we start to neutralize all of these things. So we're neutralizing the body into it with micro bubble, the creation of life, which is water, blood circulation, oxygenation. 3 elements within that 0.1 minute to that 30 minutes to that 40 minutes is the peak time to really start to see it happen. Some of us may see the leftover, we call it katsu, which is the grain, which is the filth, which is that grease with the sabun decides to say, let go. You know, just like us human, we take a while to let go of things. Like, no, I'm gonna eat this tomorrow. No, I'm gonna wear that pants, and it's still in the closet 5 years later. Well, I had that pants, or I had that shoes, you know. And so
yes.
Same as that, our mindset. So I think when we first started, it's all about the mindset of changing and seeing things in a different perspective. And that's how we also change our lifestyle, our everyday lifestyle, because we just learned something, right? About taking vitamins on the first P we do in the morning, right after that. Because we actually detoxing our body, all that waste. So your body needs something. Your gut is saying, hello, fill me up. And that's how we build up your immune system back up again. And it's the same concept when we do with this dog, with a dog. And while we're working it through what we're doing, those waters are actually still activating ions. You see? So this is clean, pure water in and out, right? We're not putting anything. We're doing the surface thing right now. So when I see people with recycled water, think about what it means. I don't need to explain it any further. They're just recycling bad water back into it, and it doesn't make any sense at all. Yes, I've done it. I've been doing this for a long time. So that's why I did it. I done it. Hey, I learned from it. So that's why now I'm bringing you something that is really true, pure in and pure out. And so while we work through the dog right now, and you may not be seeing it, it's moving. It's moving and pushing it out. We may not see it in the visible eye, but I can see it because I'm looking at a different point of view. And so that's why when we wash the dog, we go over it quickly like the train station. And we know if this dog has an allergy problem, this dog has a stomach problem, this dog has a thyroid problem, this brush is like magic. It goes and you
Yep.
hold it because it's going into that little thing. These, I call it like, these scavengers are actually, the way it's made is actually when you push it down, this brush point is hitting the trigger points. Does this make sense?
Yeah, because I figured, well, actually, this has changed how I wash all my dogs.
Yeah.
Even if they aren't in for this, I'm
Mhm.
using the same technique with
Mhm.
dogs that are not being, they're not in there for microbubble. They're
Mhm.
in there just to be, shampooed. But I'm finding I am using the same techniques with the brush on every dog. So
Exactly.
yeah, I just caught myself the other day. I thought, well, I'm doing exactly the same thing. And this dog's not in here for microbubble detox. It's just in here for a bath. And so I'm using the same techniques everywhere. Same brush.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
This
Yeah. It's
magic
changed
brush,
how I
when you go and you can practice on your own skin or on your dog, look at the movement. The movement is the same thing instead of the micro bubble. That's why I call this the
Mhm.
Minicle Micro Bubble brush. It's doing the same thing without water. It's actually
Yeah.
deep cleaning and hitting those trigger points. This middle point right here, these things are, I call it my hair sweepers. So when we push it down, it's going down, but don't grind it down into their skin. Gently, it does this magic.
Yeah.
In with our shampoo, in with our conditioner. You see how this starts to shake over here, this leg. Why? Because we're moving it out, moving it out. Look at this back leg. Look how much train station this one has. I always call the Elvis move. Once they start doing the Elvis move, the
Yeah.
back legs start going because you're
Yeah. Yeah.
connecting and you're just hitting the inner where? The umbilical cord. Underneath, once you start hitting this area right here, underneath and here, look, this leg starts going. And when that leg starts going, it's moving out. That's why I'm saying, people, is that we may not see, but once you start seeing the back leg doing the Elvis,
Mm-hmm.
obviously they may be cold, but then they're actually, their body is moving it out, right?
Okay.
When we have a high
Okay. All
fever
right.
and it starts to go like this, it's because we're feeling it coming out. And then on top of that, we got this brush to lift it off. And
Wow.
so
So sounds like I'm doing more than I know.
yeah, and that's why when I look at it, it's like we don't even know that we're doing it so great because we are perfectly. I love the way you do with the paws. You see how you just did it like that?
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Well, I saw you doing it on a video, and I figured if you can do it, I can too.
Anybody
So
can
that's
do it. Very
well.
good.
Now, I mean, I would have not known to do that, but one of your videos, that's what you were doing with the paws, and I thought, wow,
Mhm.
then I need to get in it because he is a paw. He's a paw chewer. His back
Exactly.
paws
So
look
seasonal
like
dogs,
I
paw
clipped them.
chewers, especially the back leg. Look how much train station we're going at.
Yes, yeah. There's a lot,
A
a
lot of train
lot.
station over here that we need to move. And sometimes because of the micro bubble, we can't always go there. Let the Minicle Micro Bubble brush do its magic.
Cool.
Even when
Right.
it's dry, when you have nothing else to do and watching TV or Netflix or whatever, or you're just having your peace moment, use it. Upwards motion, up. That's why you can use it wet or dry, up in that formation. And so that's where this Minicle Micro Bubble is becoming a system. Now we're catching on to the system. Because if I say, hey, I'm not, hey, buy the machine, buy the brush, I sound like a salesperson, but I'm actually not a salesperson. I'm actually giving you tools. Because there's too many salespeople out there wanting you to buy something. And I said, if I want you to buy this, why would I make it last over a decade? I don't have time for that. I make something and make it work good. And like I just mentioned, from the evolution of going back 20 years, seeing how the Minicle Micro Bubble is changing, we need to change with the frequency, the energy is what's happening that we just talked about. So we get all of this different kind of vibration and we put that with electricity, right? You're creating different things. Way back 20 years, was there a thing called 3G, 4G, 5G? Nope. It was not there. Right. So now we're dealing with different kind of frequency into everything we do, whether it's the dog, whether it's the cat, whether it's us. And so,
yeah, absolutely.
And so that's
I get that.
Yeah. So that's where I'm getting at. And people's like, and I'm like, please, if I start selling it, it doesn't make sense. But if I give knowledge, it makes sense. And so like this, like I tell, if you want to buy a whole bunch of it, let me know. We get a good price for you. So you can also teach your clients to do it. You know, I talk to my team and I say, people needs this. If our, individual and, regular people, because I sell it at Nordstrom and I tell them what to do with it. Because because they can't, they're not ready for the micro bubble. And I said, start the starter kit. Here's the starter kit. Let's go with the starter kit. And so those that are already in my program, my courses, we'll talk later about all of that good stuff. And so what I'm saying is now it kind of all makes sense why I call it Minicle Micro Bubble System is because we're giving you the tools. Just because it's not just this, and I get so irritated with some people with this micro bubble stuff. It's like, oh my God, stop getting, and I got over it of getting upset. Look at this dog's eye now. Look at it.
Yeah.
Look at it. It's gone.
Yeah.
You may not see it.
I love taking it. There was a dog in yesterday that it's a Pomeranian. Now she doesn't really like it on her face, around her eyes. She throws a fit, but I tried to get as much in as I could. But hers are worse than his for drainage here. I'm working with her owner to get her on. We're going to do a modified schedule for her because she has seasonal allergies in her. They think she doesn't, but she does.
Yeah.
And she has this around her eyes. So I tried working her. I love it to clean eyes out because you do the circles and you clean a little bit and you do the circles and it cleans them really nicely.
Oh yeah, and it waking up the senses, go to module 5 about the chakra when I'm talking about these senses, about the triangle that I just say why they're getting that marks of discolor. It's because these are the points that are clogging up that chakra sensories. And so, I mean, while we're talking, you can see the magic that you're already doing. Because sometimes we don't see it until later on. And I always do that. I have to catch myself. It's like, wow, oh, it's gone. Where did it go? Huh.
Yeah. And I have a tendency not to go back and watch mine too often because of the download issue we have here. But, because I have to go to the library to upload these. That's how I get them uploaded to you.
Yeah.
I get my car, go to the library, upload my videos so I can send them to you. And that's why sometimes I get the wrong email address.
Oh, it's okay. No worries
about I'm doing
that.
it.
Just remind me or Maya or somebody. Just remind them and I'll take a look at it. But like I said,
I'll try.
Yeah, this is a good magical point where I love how you just grab underneath. Very good. Underneath. As you can see, the water is coming different. And then when we go into the, let me get into the conditioner. I think the conditioner, oh, this video, it shuts down, yeah? I think
Yes,
it's
I don't know
two-part
what's
series.
going,
Yeah.
I'm
But
not sure
anyways,
why mine shuts off, but it does.
yeah, because we got 5 more minutes left, and I do have another thing I need to do.
Okay.
But anyway, so let's wrap it up with Bailey and excuse me, and Bentley here. And then as far as Reese is concerned, I think we went over that with that video on what exact points that we need to work on Reese, because Reese is a very special case and he's balding. And
Yeah.
I think, I don't know if you received my picture, that you may want to show the owners that there is hope to grow back hair.
Yeah.
But it's a process.
She's more worried about him not itching. But when we get, I'll probably send you an email, give you more of a recap what's happening with him. But so working on him, I have the email, and I'll have to reread this to make sure I understand, because I think basically I'm to do the same things just each time, because I am doing skin with him. I can do skin rolling all down the back because his skin is loose.
Yeah.
I'm able to do that all the way down the back. I have got nothing out anals at all.
It's okay, because sometimes, because he's in a different condition and he's been with so many different kind of medication, it's going to,
he's on a lot.
and he's probably still on some medication. So you're having that, this happening.
Yes.
And when that happens,
He's on,
it's slowly weaning off the body, because the body is saying, hello, we're here to help you. Mr. Medication, maybe you need to kind of step on the side of it. And when that happens, like some dog, if we overdo it, we need to see how the dog body is doing at that time. Because sometimes we really want to take care of it and go gun-ho and try to do it. But sometimes the body may not work today. You know, we go to exercise. Today's not the day I want to go to the gym, but I have to. You know, but you got to go through the workout. But we tend to do the workout a little bit much more gentler. We tend to do the workout much more shorter. And so case by case, it's really your call. And number one is feeling the body temperature. If it's cold, that means we need to start putting more oxygenation so the blood circulation, it refines better. That is your key point. Not about, because if you start thinking and doing that, that's when we're going to start helping Mr. Toxin that's been toxed like a grease monkey down at the end of the pit. It's going to start to lift off. You know, sometimes we can't get that grease out the first time. We just got to let the vinegar sit there for a little while for it to lift off, right? We can't just say, oh, I got my favorite shirt dirty. Let's spray some stuff on it before we wash it. Let that
so
in that process.
He has, and I know he's on a lot more medication than I thought. So I may just have to relax and just not try to push so hard to detox him. We're trying, I guess because we want so much for him to get to a place where we're seeing some major changes. She did say from the first session to the second, when he came in the second time, she said he's still itching, but not as much. That is not as bad as it was the first time he came in. So we are making progress. I don't want to overdo it because he does have a lot going on. You know, between his thyroid, his heart, and they have this dog very medicated. On Apoquel every day of his life. Yeah, he just has a lot. Sometimes it makes me nervous, but she's also a helicopter mom. And
Mm.
so I kind of deal a little bit with her, and then I'm not sure. So then I get a little nervous because she's a little nervous and it kind of mushrooms.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah, I
oh,
know what you're saying exactly. So
yeah,
this thing is gonna
yeah.
shut off pretty soon. But I think we pretty much cleared everything for today session.
I have one quick question, and that is on body shapes. If you get a chance to read body shapes, I've noticed that one of my dogs, his body